Most years, he could have walked away with that award.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Schroeder kicks to Splitter. Atlanta needs to get off a shot here. Hardaway, no good.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
Offensive rebound, Gibson, and he hits it to tie the game up.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Dishes it to Hardaway. Fades. That doesn't go either for Hardaway.
For Mirotic, he was most valuable late in games, guys. From March on, he led the league in fourth quarter points per game. 3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense. And for that note about Mirotic, in the fourth, he outscored LeBron and Westbrook that month. That's impressive for any player, much less a rookie.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
And it's Schroeder in the corner. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. They can go 2 for 1.
It's about being smart right now.
Brooks kicks to Freak. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season. Won the Most Improved Player of the Year award. Really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level. How about the concentration? He gets hit but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Innovation and improvisation right there, Greg. Finding a way to get that shot to fall after taking the contact.
And that one falls for Splitter. The Atlanta Hawks come into this one following a loss to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, and that was a night where they just didn't seem to be the type of team that we've grown accustomed to seeing. I mean, it was more about them being individuals on the floor than the collective unit.
Guys, I think it was simply a vacuum of leadership. Nobody really gathered the team and tried to rally them or pull them together. You know, that was most disappointing about the loss to me.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. It's the Bulls as they end the first quarter with a big 11-3 run. And back with the start. And before the game, Star Center Joakim Noah talked about the intensity of this Chicago Bulls team. Well, I think Joakim can certainly make a case, Clark, for Chicago being that famished. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. And Atlanta will go for a different look here. Paul Millsap is checked in for Splitter. Hardaway comes in for Cephalosha. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Mack. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for T. Freak in at small forward. Brooks out there with Jimmy Butler. Then it's Taj Gibson. And it's Mirotic in at the 4. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. And the shot is good.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Magic gave them an edge. He had 6 points, and it seemed every trip down he would end up at the line. A lot of free throws for him. A bit of a surprise attack for him, as he is usually just regarded as a role player on his team.
All right, thanks, Doris. He's got a lot of positives to take away from that game.
He really does. It was one of his better performances, and that's saying something because we've seen this guy have a lot of good ones.
And you'd have to imagine that he'll be out to build on it, to go one better here tonight.
Millsap a screen. Here's Hardaway, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic. Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of the great Tim Hardaway Sr., had a very good rookie season. However, last season, Clark, not the improvement that some were hoping to see on him.
Kevin, you knew the expectations were going to be high going forward, very high. But sometimes you step back before you move forward. He only shot 39% last season, very low for a guy of his caliber.
And he makes both free throws.
And we were talking about Hardaway Jr., and he had a very good shot coming out of college, does a good job of freeing himself off screens, plays with good energy and intensity. For this young man, I believe the sky is the limit.
Hardaway with the steal. 1:09 left in the first half. Millsap a screen on Brooks. Schroeder passes to Millsap. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Clock at 6. Hardaway with it. Out defended by Freak. The three. And Hardaway gets it to go. Hardaway has got 5.
You know, with Hardaway Jr., it's not my thing to compare guys to other players, but he could use a little bit of his dad's quickness and ball handling. Tim Sr. was one of the best in the league at getting his own shot and getting shots for others. If Tim Jr. can get half of that in his game, his star will rise.
And it's Freak missing.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not, I don't care how hot he may or may not be. He's not making that one.
Millsap misses.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
There's the feed to Freak. On the wing, Brooks. And here's Freak. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Bulls lead. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys?
A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. And so in the game for the Hawks, Dennis Schroeder is out there with Shelvin Mack. Then there's Kent Bazemore. Then it's Splitter, and it's Horford in at the pivot, manning the middle. Kept alive. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback.
Yeah, and if you look at it, had they been converting those second chances all along instead of waiting until now, who knows?
Here's Bazemore. It's hauled in by the Bulls. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
And the deciding factor in that one was their success from the floor. I mean, they just hit big shots time and time again.
Yeah, just the way you want it when you're the road team. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into it.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Schroeder kicks to Horford. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. Horford's got 6 here in this quarter.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Nikola Mirotic, drafted as a late first-rounder, Clark, back in 2011. The Spanish star finally made his rookie debut in the NBA last season, and it was worth the wait.
It sure was, Kevin. I mean, once he started to get consistent PT, I mean, he was remarkable. Can run like the wind for a big guy, not that strong, but more aggressive than you'd think.
And back to Mirotic last season, per 36 minutes, he averaged 18 points, 9 rebounds. He was also a tremendous foul shooter for a rookie big and made the all-rookie first team, was second in Rookie of the Year voting. I mean, what more could you ask for?
The Hawks trail by 3. Schroeder kicks to Horford. Pass to Bazemore. Takes it from 10. Mirotic grabs the miss. Mirotic has got his 3rd rebound tonight.
And, you know, for Mirotic, his value extends to the defensive end as well. He did a surprisingly good job of racking up blocks and steals last season. You have to believe that if he improves his power and consistency, an all-star nod isn't so far off.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
Yeah, I don't think they have to rush, though, Greg. Just need to find a good shot this time.
Here's Mack. Gets the front of the rim and out.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you can see the frustration on his face.
And he gets the bucket. And now a 7-point Bulls lead.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
11 seconds left to play here in the 3rd. Here's Schroeder out to the right wing. Bazemore, the good-looking shot from the wing. Bazemore's got his first points of the night.
Well, I like the way he orchestrated in tight that time, fellas.
And that's it for the 3rd quarter. Both teams scoring. And thanks for joining us again as the 4th quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Atlanta making some changes. Ken Bazemore comes in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. Freak, he's in at small forward. Dunleavy is out there with Brooks. Then it's Taj Gibson. And it's Mirotic in at the power forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Schroeder with the ball. He's picked up by Brooks. Millsap has the open look. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim.
They clearly look like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got some energy out on the floor.
Yeah, but it's
Oh, the rim rattler.
just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
That's straight up Showtime stuff right there, baby. Major highlight reel material.
Brooks outside. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
They certainly put on a good show here at home, and I think they felt they had the edge and that extra little bit of confidence.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, pal, congrats.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan player of the game, Jimmy Butler. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor.
Well, you know, when Butler's on the court, he's going to come at you in all sorts of ways. I mean, defensively, offensively, this guy can just flat out play. Let's not forget he's an all-star, too.
There's no doubt about it. This guy is a leader. He was in attack mode all night, calling for it.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night.